Hi, how are you? I went to the city center today. I used the subway, so I needed to have something to pass time when sitting in a windowless tube. So I scrolled around the YouTube and stumbled on a video that talked about child-free life. There was this lady, mid-30s or 40s, and she was really mad and really frustrated. She had made the decision a long time ago to not have children, and her husband did agree. And she was now some kind of really mad about people who asked her why she doesn't have children, or why they wouldn't have, and all these kind of things, and how many and why if not just one. I can understand that that's annoying. But to the people that don't want to have children, I might as well tell you that you have my full support. I think that there are 8 billion reasons why you shouldn't have children if you don't want to. I know plenty of parents that shouldn't have been never parents. People that are awful to their children, who are not like natural mothers or fathers by any means. They are horrible people, and there are lots of children that are neglected and mishandled, and that's awful. But to have a child-free life, you don't have to be a bad person. I don't mean that. But if you don't have the urgent need to be a parent, to be a mom or be a dad, then you are free to skip the whole thing. There are plenty of medical proceedings that make it very easy and make sure that you won't get pregnant, you won't get children by accident. Because of course, having abortion is a totally different thing than just preventing. And that I don't want to anyone. But if I think about it, I hadn't realized that this would be a big problem to have a child-free life and be accepted. And I think that that's sad. At the same time, we have, I think, more people that we realized that do not want children. And we have those people who really want to, but they can't. Many couples think that they will have their children after 30, and then it's not so easy anymore. Not for everybody. So it's not a rule that you will have a baby when you want to. Necessarily nothing works, and people go to fertility clinics and it can ruin your life for years. Especially if you never get pregnant anyway. That's tough. But like I said, having children really changes your life. It really does. So if you think that you don't want to change your life, then don't. I cannot even think about these like parallel realities if I wouldn't have had children. I cannot think, or if I can think that I would live without them if they never existed, I cannot think that I wouldn't know them, because they are like human beings' personalities. No, I really cannot think about that reality, me with no my children. No, this is the only path that I can think of. And I have good imagination. But there are many kind of difficulties that you can get into by being a parent. Because somehow you lose your life anyhow. it's never the same. Once you get pregnant, your life is never the same. You have these, I don't know, all the hormones that make you make a nest and take care of the baby. So they take over and you lose yourself for a while. And I think that that's maybe a thing for another video. Losing yourself and how to find yourself again after your children grow up. But now I'm sleeping to that. Well, back to the topic. Yes, I understand that child-free people run into many occasions that they are asked, why don't they have children? And would they have just one? Which is a very stupid question. But I think the only thing that you can do is to make up some kind of a standard answer that you give. That no, not for me, no, not now, not never. And then change the subject. I know that old ladies can be very annoying and they can start yanking about something that they think that they are right and they know better when you're happy and when you're not. You can live happy life without children, that's for sure. Especially if you want to. But if you don't want children and you have them anyway, then your life will be miserable. I think that's more likely. But on the other hand, I cannot blame people who ask. They may be a little bit not so bright side, but I can understand that they ask. Because it has been so ever since people arrived to this planet, that when man and woman move together or start living together, then there will be inevitably baby. That's just the course of nature. So of course people ask young couples, when are you going to have a baby? And of course then there are the other folks that tell that it's too soon, or it's too late, and it's too many, or it's too few. And that's absolutely stupid too. But try to bear the people that ask, are you going to have children? And give your standard answer. Just calmly and change the subject. I think that would be the best way. But the worst thing is that if you anyway have to answer these questions, you either try to avoid the situations that the questions are asked, or you'll be hurt by these questions and feel bad when somebody asks you. It's the same thing like other way around. That for those who want desperately to have children but can't, and then somebody comes to ask them, why don't you have children? Well, I'm sorry, but I just can't. Something is wrong with my body and it doesn't produce any children. And that's not very fun to answer that too. And I really feel sorry for those people, because the instinct to have children is very strong. It's very hard to go around that. But if you don't have that instinct, then you are free to choose. I had my children later in life, after 30. But my situation was a little bit different. I was born and raised in the 1800s, not just the distance, but the time. But I was told that I shouldn't have children. So I thought that that's my reality. I do not have children, never in my life. But when I was about 30 and went to the doctors, and she said that why not? That there is nothing to stop, no, not in the modern days. Then I had to figure it out quite quickly. Will I have children or not? But I'm happy that I did. They are marvelous personalities, and I love them dearly. But there is lots of difficulties and lots of personalities in same families. It's always a question of luck. If you have a nice parents, if you have a nice spouse that you love, of course you can divorce your spouse, but you cannot divorce your parents. You can just keep your distance and try to set up some boundaries. But same comes to your children. Once they are here, you cannot choose them. They are who they are. And for them, you are tied up for your life. Or at least the first 20 years you have to raise them. You have the responsibility. If you bring children to this world, you cannot just, well, of course, somebody will hate me for saying this, but I think being father is a choice. Being mother is not. If you have children, you are their mother. You cannot just walk out. But plenty of men walk out on their families and leave mothers with their children. And that's not right either. The responsibility, no matter what the biology says, the responsibilities should be both to the men and to the women. But try to be patient with people. And if you think that you don't want to have children, don't. If you think that you don't want to have children when you're 20, then just live on with your life. But if you mature later, then be prepared to think again. And think again to both ways. If you think in your 20s, if you thought that you wanted 5 children, and at 25 or 30 you know that I don't think so, I don't want any of them, then don't. Because of course we grow up. What I was in 20, 30, 40 and now 50, it's totally different. Priorities change, and we should embrace our development in every stage. Yes, but you have my full support. If you want to ask anything, just write down below and I will answer to you. If you don't want to have children, don't. You have a freedom to choose. Choose the life that is not traditional human life. Life that does not follow the simple biology. You have a right. And the ones that want to have children, you have the right to have children. You have the right to try and be a good parent. If you're wondering, by the way, this is again another topic, but if you are thinking about having children, but you're afraid that you will be a lousy mother, I urge you to think again. If you think that you are going to be a lousy mother, but you want to have children, you will probably be a better mom than many others, because you think about it already. But regardless of do you have children or not, do you want to have children or not, I wish you all a marvelous day. And I hope to see you soon. Goodbye.